Hi, and welcome once again to SLJ.com. I'm Jeff Hastings, and welcome again to the Highlander Way Middle School Library, my home turf. Highlander Way Middle School, located in Howell, Michigan, kind of in the center of the state of Michigan, so right in the epicenter of the American recession is where we teach. That's sad to say. I take no pleasure in that, and I'm hoping, although I hear differently, I'm hoping that you're in a state where the economic situation is a little better than here. I hear from a lot of sales reps that I talk to, I'm always saying to them, hey, is it this bad everywhere? And a lot of times they say, yeah, it's kind of bad all over. So in these tough economic times, it's hard to do the stuff you need to do just to kind of tread water and stay afloat. It's really hard, almost impossible sometimes, to expand your services in any meaningful way. It can be done, though, and sometimes austerity can actually propel good things. Here's a case in point. One of the services I wanted to expand here in the library for a long time was a work group that we call the Online Research Center. A bunch of computers in the library that serve up all the online resources that kids use for their library research projects. Now, up until this year, we had, I believe, 24 computer workstations available on the library floor. 8 of those workstations were dedicated OPAC stations. These are the places where you access the library catalog. 16 of those workstations were the Online Research Center, the places where kids went to do the online portions of the research for a given project. 16 workstations available. You know, your average class is about 32 kids. It worked because usually kids are using print resources in tandem with their online stuff, but sometimes there were kids actually queuing up for online access, and I didn't like that so much. Moreover, I had the dream that one day we'd be able to offer true one-to-one computing for the classes that we hosted in the library. I really never thought I'd see the day, though, because every year as I would make gentle appeals for funding for that expansion, the economy would kind of just go like this. And it seemed to become less and less likely that such an expansion would ever happen. Entered this September, I come back from break and I come into the library, and lo and behold, the expansion has indeed taken place. And it's really not even my doing. It was kind of done from the top down. The kicker, though, is that while we've gone from 24 workstations to 48 workstations, we've gone from 24 computers running 24 workstations to 12 computers running 48 workstations, and it's done. That was enabled by a product called the NComputing X300 Virtual Desktop Kit. Here it is, right here. So several of these kits were deployed here in my library. We used this kit to split each of our computers 4 ways. Now, NComputing says that if you take 2 of these kits, you can actually split a PC 7 ways. We're not doing that here, but they say it can be done. So, seems like the perfect product for austere times. I want to show you what is in the box, so let's take it over here and we'll open it up. All right, before I show you what's in the box, I want to clarify something. Virtual desktops can be done in a couple of different ways. There's the kind of the software way, and there's the hardware way. The NComputing X300 kits represent the hardware way. So here's the kit. And the kits are available from resellers only, and they tend to go for about $219 for the kits that split a computer 4 ways. Here's what's in the box. Basically, the heart of the virtual desktop is this. It's a MINIPCI card. You've probably seen cards like them if you've been inside a machine before. This one has 3 Ethernet jacks in the back. The cable is provided, and you feed 3 of these. These are access devices, and they substitute for the hardware that a workstation would miss by not having a computer at each workstation. So here you feed out your video, you have inputs for a mouse and a keyboard, PS2 mice only, by the way, for this model. There's also an audio output in the back. I don't know if you can see it, and you know it is possible to, for instance, be playing a video on 4 workstations all fed off a single computer and get 4 different audio feeds. It works. What we don't have here on the access device, though, are USB ports. That's something to think about. If you use USB ports a lot in your particular situation, it's going to be kind of clunky for everyone to access them off a single machine. It can be done, but it probably won't be a very elegant thing to do. This is a weird review, because usually I'm talking about the enhanced performance of a product. I'm talking about products that do something better than the products that came before them. I'm talking about enhanced capability, bigger, better. Here I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about taking the assets that you already have, splitting them in a number of different ways, and saving money in the bargain. This is a product that's really about austerity. It's also about long-term savings, because each of these access devices only draws about 1 watt of power. So that by deploying virtual desktops, you can realize some power consumption savings as well as savings on hardware. I wanted to find out what was going through my technology director's head when he decided to buy NComputing X300 kits and deploy them across the district. So I brought him in here and I asked him that question.
Sure. When we were looking to deploy, the virtual desktop, what we were looking for was, one, to be able to lower support cost and lower the implementation of a product that we put in. We had a building where we were replacing approximately 182 computers, and in every classroom we have 4 or 5 computers. The virtual desktop was a perfect solution for us because we have 4 student computers in every classroom. NComputing allows us to run with 1 computer, 4 stations. In this building, for instance, we were able to save $75,000 in what would have been a normal Windows deployment. One of the motivating factors was ongoing support. Instead of supporting 182 computers, we were supporting almost a quarter of the computers. Once you fix 1 computer, you're really fixing 3 or 4 computers. I have, in my department, I'm trying to cut over $150,000 in my utility bills. This, combined with some software deployments that we put out, have helped us in getting to that number.
NComputing X300 virtual desktop kits. If, like me, in your library you're doing mostly light demand applications, an internet browser, a catalog kiosk, virtual desktops might be for you. Make sure to check out my full review of this product in the February 2009 issue of School Library Journal. For SLJ.com, I'm Jeff Hastings. See you next month.